Ladies and gentlemen, based on the importance of reinforcing consultancy and coordination between Egypt and Madagascar regarding the regional issues and challenges facing Africa in a manner supporting peace, stability and security and development, the visit of His Excellency President Mikhail Randoyena, President of the Republic of Madagascar today, reinforces cooperation in the vital sectors in a manner serving both peoples. We also witnessed the signing of Memoranda of Understanding, one MOU for political consultation signed on the behalf of the Egyptian side by His Excellency the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Badr Abdelati, and from Madagascar, Ms. Alison Diaye, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, an MOU in the field of maritime cooperation and port development. From the Egyptian side, Dr. Badr Abdelati, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, and from Malagasy side, Ms. Diaye, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. An MOU in the field of enhancing investment relations from the Egyptian side, Dr. Badr Abdelati, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Egyptians abroad, and from Malagasy side, Ms. Rafidi, the General Director of Economic Development Council. MOU on cooperation in the field of sports and youth. Mr. Gohar Nabil from Egypt, the Minister of Youth and Sports, and from Malagasy side, the Minister of Youth and Sports. MOU in the field of AI and technology, signed by Engineer Hindi, the Minister of Telecommunications and ICT, and from Malagasy side, Mr. Mahifa, the Minister of Digital Development, Post and ICT. In the name of God, most gracious, the most merciful, my brother, Excellency, President Mikhail Randoyena, President of the sisterly state of Madagascar. Dear attendees, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to welcome His Excellency the President of the Republic of Madagascar and the accompanying delegation to their second home, Egypt, a visit that holds particular importance, being the first official bilateral visit of a President of Madagascar to Egypt. This reinforces the historic and brotherly ties that bind our two countries since the establishment of the diplomatic relations in 1970. It also embodies our shared political will to elevate bilateral relations to broader horizons of cooperation and integration. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, His Excellency President Mikhail, and I held constructive and fruitful bilateral talks, during which I affirmed Egypt's steadfast position in supporting of the sisterly Republic of Madagascar during this delicate transitional phase. I was keen to express our full support for the sincere national efforts being made by the authorities in Madagascar to implement the roadmap and to fulfill the aspirations of the brotherly people of Madagascar. From this standpoint, and based on our firm belief in the priority of solidarity among the brothers, Egypt reaffirms its readiness to share its expertise and technical capabilities, particularly in the field of development, to reinforce the foundations of stability. Ladies and gentlemen, during our talks, we agreed on the necessity of building upon the resources that both countries possess, seizing promising investment opportunities and working to enhance our economic and commercial relations to confront current regional and international challenges in a manner that achieves mutual interests and contributes to the development and the prosperity of our peoples, benefiting from our joint membership in the COMESA. In this regard, I expressed our pride in the role of the Egyptian private sector in Madagascar and its effective contribution to the strategic infrastructure projects, affirming the readiness of the Egyptian companies to expand their engagement in the sectors of energy, water, desalination, health, and agriculture to transfer the comprehensive Egyptian development experience to our brothers in Madagascar. Ladies and gentlemen, within the framework of our shared pursuit to develop the institutional framework for bilateral cooperation, we witnessed today the signing of a number of memoranda of understanding, which represents a strong boost to our bilateral relations. In this context, I'd like to welcome His Excellency and ask him to establish permanent diplomatic exchange between both countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we also discussed a number of international and regional issues, and I noted an alignment of views between both countries. I also agreed with my brother, His Excellency the President, to continue joint coordination to protect the security and stability of the nations of our continent. In the same context, my brother, His Excellency President Mikhail, and I affirmed the need for international efforts to support the African positions, especially in the climate change issue. Take into consideration that Egypt and Madagascar rank among the most affected African countries by this phenomenon. I affirmed Egypt's full solidarity with Madagascar in facing environmental challenges, continuing the Egyptian approach of supporting brothers, which was recently evident in our support for Madagascar to overcome the aftermath of Cyclone Jizani. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I'd like to renew my welcome to you in Egypt, and I wish the brotherly people of Madagascar all progress, well-being, and prosperity. I also renew my aspiration to continue joint work for the best of our countries and our continent. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings be upon you. Now the floor goes to His Excellency the President. Excellency, my older brother, my dear brother, Excellency President, ladies and gentlemen, dear attendees, with all the protocols observed, it's my pleasure and honor to be present with you today in Egypt after accepting the kind invitation directed to me by His Excellency President El-Sisi. At the beginning, I'd like to express my deep thanks and appreciation to this country and its government and its people for the warm welcoming and good hospitality that we had. On the 23rd of last February, our both countries celebrated the 56th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic relations between both countries. Over these decades, our relation was characterized by mutual respect and solidarity. This day represents a milestone in our bilateral relations. This is the first time in the history of our nation to organize such an official visit. That's why I'd like to express my deep thanks and appreciation to you, Excellency Mr. President, for the kind invitation that you gave to me and to my accompanying delegation. I'd like also to seize this opportunity to give you an official invitation to come and visit Madagascar at the time that's suitable for you. As everyone knows, the re-establishment that we had in Madagascar now fulfills the political aspirations of the people of Madagascar, which requires a change in the political governance and in the management of the public affairs, in addition to the different affairs of Madagascar. Our civilization is one of the oldest civilizations in the world, and actually this teaches us that a nation takes its power from its history, from the will of its leaders and from the will of its peoples also, to conduct reforms and to reinforce its institutions and overcome the development obstacles. The modernization era witnessed by Egypt laid the foundation to make Egypt in a great position in Africa and in the whole world. Excellency, Mr. President, Madagascar today goes through a crucial phase, and I'm fully aware that you can have a good understanding of the strategic aspect related to the re-establishment phase that we are going through. We are grateful for Egypt's support to the re-establishment roadmap, and I'd like to praise this continuous and generous support given by Egypt to us in everything related to the reforms, especially with the current and expected endeavors regarding the Peace and Security Council in the African Union. Doubtlessly, everyone can walk very fast on their own, but together we can reach a better destination. That's why we are fully convinced that the persistent efforts exerted by the government of Madagascar to implement the roadmap in the context of our continent is supported by Egypt, which allows Madagascar to finalize its reforms very quickly. In a manner that's similar to the successful transformation witnessed by Egypt. This transformation is great in Egypt, especially that Egypt is a main actor and player in solving all the regional and international issues. And I'd like to praise in this context the noticeable Egyptian experience that puts the people's interests first. I'd like to highlight the fact that Egypt shares this well-established based values with Egypt. Our last meeting in Kenya this summer included talks about the cooperation, the future cooperation, and the enhancement of the existing partnerships, in addition to exploring new partnerships in many axes, including agriculture and water resources management. In these two sectors in particular, we are looking forward to benefit from the Egyptian expertise, especially in the sector of agriculture in arid zones, as Egypt managed to achieve its target of sustainable agriculture and water management to guarantee its food security, in addition to having an access to be imported. In Madagascar, we are looking forward to achieve similar goals at the internal level. As for technology and space technology and artificial intelligence, they are also a major axis and priority for us. Egypt is one of the rarest African countries that developed its AI program known as Horus. It also owns a world-class space agency known as the Egyptian Space Agency. Madagascar also exerts all the necessary efforts to build its technological sovereignty, which is a major thing to achieve national sovereignty, especially in terms of border management and control and surveillance over the maritime and air borders, in addition to managing the climate change issues. Our talks also focused on the urbanization, especially with the urban demographic growth. In this regard, Madagascar prepared a strategy for urbanization expansion, and Madagascar in this regard would like to benefit from Egypt's experience in the field of infrastructure development. Egypt is also one of the pioneering countries in tourism in Africa. That's why a reinforced partnership in this field will guarantee more jobs generated for the best of our both peoples. As for the commercial and aspect and investment, we are seeking to have an integration that should be enhanced thanks to our affiliation or belonging to COMESA. We need also to localize our industries to become a role model in cooperation, especially in South countries, by establishing regional value chains and opening new markets. Finally, I can't help but talking about the core of the re-establishment project, which is youth. Our top priority is opening future horizons for youth and women and vulnerable categories also. Madagascar is fully prepared and ready to conclude agreements on projects allowing youth to get a proper job opportunities and also to encourage entrepreneurship. Excellency, Mr. President, beyond these plans, there's a core that lies in the shared visions gathering our both countries, either at the historic, economic, and strategic levels. I'm fully convinced that this visit, this first official visit by the President of Madagascar to Egypt, opens new horizons full of hope and promising future for our both nations. In conclusion, I'd like to reiterate my thanks and appreciation for the warm welcoming and hospitality and the good discussions that we had.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a press conference held by President El-Sisi with visiting Madagascar's President Michael Randriani.